Good morning, everyone. How you all doing? It's Sal, Stretford Post, and it is Breaking Dawn, guys. How you all doing? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream, guys. I really appreciate you coming along this morning, of course, guys, in what is a lovely morning. I don't know about you, but I feel good this morning. I woke up this morning feeling fine. Got Premier League on my mind. Absolutely. Day after tomorrow, we got Nottingham Forest, guys, in the Premier League. Guys, and we're getting warmed up already. It's coming thick and fast. There's no stop. There's no rest for the wicked. It's literally 2 weeks since we played in Liverpool and knocked Liverpool off their perch at Anfield, of course, guys. And speaking of Liverpool, guys, listen, I think we should take a knee. I think we should take a moment of silence of Liverpool, because it is a very sad situation that Liverpool are in at the moment. I mean, look, I cannot condone this kind of terrible atrocities that have been happening at Anfield of late. I mean, losing 3-0 to Crystal Palace, I mean, it must hurt deeply, and I cannot wish that on my worst enemy. I have to say, I do not wish it on my worst enemy. What is it, 6 out of 7 games they've lost? But guys, the thing is, though, what makes me laugh? You know what makes me chuckle? Is I don't see any uproar from the media. I don't see Talk Sports, Sky Sports, ESPN FC giving it large. I don't see that. Do you see that? It's like a search warrant. Archaeologist FC. Absolutely. I cannot find any news surrounding Liverpool. I had to dig deep into my internet to find that Liverpool lost the game yesterday 3-0. Liverpool fans went silent. People gone missing. Journalists have gone missing. They don't want to talk about Arnie Slot. Instead, I turn over the TV channel, and who do I see? A big picture of Ruben Amram. For crying out loud. There you go, guys. It's right there, live in living color. Absolutely no CM Punk, live in living color. Mad. And this is the agenda. This is the anti-United train, that narrative that has been going on for years. And this is a perfect example. If Manchester United, despite Liverpool playing a kindergarten team, despite that, if this was Manchester United, guys, the knives would be sharpened, the knives would be out. Gordon Ramsay would be knocking our door with a big fillet steak. It would be over, guys. Trust me. There will be media outlets all over the place. There'll be leaflets sent everywhere. There'll be Netflix series going on, guys. This is what happens, isn't it? When Liverpool lose, it's like, brush it under the carpet. Conspiracy theory FC. Brush it under the carpet. Didn't happen. Absolutely didn't happen. Absolutely. That is what Liverpool are, guys. And you know what? I don't feel sorry for them. I don't. I really don't. I actually feel myself as a little bit of a curse on Liverpool. I don't know why, but since Man United have been winning, Liverpool have been losing. So we winning, Liverpool are losing. They're on that side of the seesaw. We're on that side of the seesaw. Which side of the seesaw we're on? On that side of the seesaw. That's what it is, guys. But yeah, Liverpool losing, of course, guys. But I'm not going to dwell in that, guys. Before I actually start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Smash a like on the video. All that sweet stuff, guys. Put your notifications on and all that, guys. If you guys could do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Now, let's get into a little bit of transfer news, shall we? Now, obviously, the news broke yesterday that Angelo Stiller is heavily linked with Manchester United, and apparently Jason Wilcox has been following Angelo Stiller for over a year. Well, there was quotes of years. I mean, I don't know about that. He's 24 years old. Were we following him for years? And if so, why haven't we gotten him yet? Now, apparently, Man United have had talks with Angelo Stiller's representatives, and the talks have gone positively. Now, this is something very interesting indeed. Obviously, Angelo Stiller, 24-year-old, VfB Stuttgart, is valued at around 40 to 53 million pounds. Now, guys, I like this player. I really do like this player. I wouldn't listen to the narratives that are out there that he's too small, he's too weak and too slow. Don't listen to that. This guy is an absolute diamond of a player. He's a beauty of a player. And if Man United managed to sign him, he's the replacement for Bruno Fernandes. He's a replacement for Bruno Fernandes. And look, great news coming out of Man United in regards to Angelo Stiller, that we are having we are in kind of advanced talks with his representatives. But obviously, this doesn't really matter when you have to agree a deal with Stuttgart first, isn't it? I don't know whatever happened to tapping up. I think that's disappeared these days. I think everyone just does what they want these days, isn't it? But yeah, look, Angelo Stiller to Man United. What do you feel about that? Obviously, this is not a guarantee that Man United will sign him. Obviously, Man United are still into Adam Wharton and obviously Elliot Anderson as well. But the great thing about what Man United are doing at the moment is that they're planning. They're planning. There's contingency plans. If that doesn't work, that works. And it does look, as I said on the show yesterday, that Man United will sign 2 midfielders. And it does look likely that a couple of midfielders will leave the football club. I know that there's talk of Toby Collier leaving the football club. There's talk about, obviously, Casemiro leaving the football club as well. So, look, Man United need to bring in a couple of more midfielders. Absolutely, indefinitely. Definitely, not indefinitely. Absolutely, guys. But Angelo Stiller to Manchester United is on, guys. Absolutely. And I would love that. No Ben Stiller. We ain't dodging a ball. It is all about Angelo Stiller, Manchester United, guys. And look, Real Madrid are kind of hovering around, so we've got to be a little bit careful. Real Madrid are looking for a midfielder at the moment. They are also looking at Adam Wharton as well. Real Madrid are going to be competitors this summer, I can tell. So it's best for Man United's own interest that we qualify for Europe, guys, that we qualify for the Champions League or something like that. That would be absolutely fantastic, isn't it, guys? Really would be amazing. Now, guys, another little bit of news in regards to a player that I've mentioned quite often on this show. I think I've mentioned him 3 or 4 times. He's a young lad. His name is Ian Subiabre. Ian Subiabre of River Plate, the 18-year-old player who can play as a right wing, a left wing, and a centre forward. Argentinian under 20, international, 15 caps, 5 goals. Not too bad, to be honest. The key for Ian Subiabre, the key for that is that his contract expires in December. December the 31st Ian. Let's call him Ian. His contract expires on the 31st of December. So that means not this 31st of December, next 31st of December, not this year, 2026. So 31st of December, 2026 is when Ian Subiabre, his contract expires. So Manchester United could get Subiabre either for a very low fee in the summer, or they can get him on a free transfer in December. Next December, not this December. So what I would do, his valuation is 1.6 million euros. I would actually pay the money and get him early in the summer. I would. I mean, get 5 million, get him through the door. There is competitors for his signature. There's Chelsea and there's Liverpool are competitors for his signature. He's a very sought after player, very highly rated, versatile as well. Left wing, right wing, centre forward. Very, very versatile, of course, guys. 18 years old only. 5 goals for the under 20s, Argentina, of course, guys. And River Plate player. And obviously we all know about River Plate and the conveyor belt of young players that they bring through in their football club. Of course, guys, absolutely. Let me just say hello to the great community that I have here on my hands. Absolutely. Big up, Marky. Mark, what's going on, my bro? Hope you're doing well. Big up. Been watching Stiller. Gives me Tony Cruz vibes. Would be excellent addition to our team. Absolutely spot on. I think you read it 100%. He does give me Tony Cruz vibes. He does. He's an absolutely phenomenal player. And I think Man United need to steal a march and get that signing done. He would represent a cheaper option for in regards to the likes of Elliot Anderson, Adam Wharton, and Baleba. However, I do think that Man United are going to go out there and get get a couple of midfielders in there because that's what we need. We can't just get one and rest on our laurels. Stiller's a different type of player as well. Stiller can play as a CDM. He is a CDM by trade, but he's also a guy who can play at that number 8. He can go forward, he can attack, he can score goals. He's an extremely talented individual, I would say. And I think that it will be an absolutely shrewd, smart move for Manchester United. Absolutely. It's going to be very interesting to see what Man United do over this summer in regards to the midfield. Obviously, it's even interesting to see what Man United do this January in regards to Kobe Mainoo, of course, and Xerxes. Will Man United get rid of these players? Will they let them go? Obviously, the AFCON is around the corner. Man United won't be looking to decrease their squad anymore, guys, because obviously they need as many options as possible, of course. Lots of people are worried about the AFCON. What can we do about it? We can't really cry about spilt milk. It is what it is. But what I would say is that, yeah, we got enough options there to cover. Our only thing is that we got a very difficult fixture list coming up, thick and fast. Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. Let me just go all the way to the top. And big up Marky Mark, by the way. Thank you for your comments. How much did Liverpool pay for players, Sal? I mean, $500 million to lose against Crystal Palace. Big up, Benny. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Good to see Benny in the house, of course. Marky, morning, Sal, at the community. How are you, my friend? Very well. Good to see you, mate. Hated, adored, never ignored. Keep up the great work, Sal. Big up, my friend. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Big up, Benny. Good morning. Top of the morning to you, my friend. We could get used to this slot. Arnie Slot out. Look, listen, Hussam is Arnie Slot doubt. So he's going to be Arnie Slot out at the weekend if they lose. I think they're playing Aston Villa. He's going to be Arnie Slot out. So that is very, very interesting. Let's see if he lives up to his word. Let's see if he says, get him out of my club, the ball fraud. Absolutely, that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? So let's play that by ear. Let's see what happens. Of course, Slot, we want Slot to stay. Absolutely, we do. Big up, Saviour. How you doing, my friend? I'll be doing well. Good to see you. Welcome to Stretford Post. Good morning, sir. And everyone here. Sir, any ideas, update for Man U? Getting into it, my guy. Absolutely. That's why I'm here. Kenny, Slot out trend can only be found on YouTube space, not anywhere else. No mainstream media are talking about Arnie Slot out. No, absolutely not. None of that. Arnie Slot, Arnold Schwarzenegger, nothing like that. Absolutely, Arnie Slot, he will not be back if he loses at the weekend, according to some social media content creators, of course, of the Liverpool kind. He will not be back, Arnie, and definitely he will be sacked, according to many outlets out there. And I think, you know what, guys, 6 out of 7 games? Yeah, guys, look, you're looking at 6 out of 7. In our worst period, we haven't had 6 out of 7 games lost, guys. In our worst period, mamma mia, in our worst period, we haven't lost this many games. Guys, they need to hold them accountable. They should be accountable. They should be accountable, absolutely. Top Spurs as well. Yeah, Top Spurs. Look, listen. Top Spurs are saving themselves from Man United. That's what they do, isn't it? Top Spurs. Yeah, absolutely. Look, you push me on the spot here. You put me on the spot, guys. I have to play it. I'm sorry.
Do you know Tottenham? What? Tottenham Hotspur?
Topspur?
No.
What's that?
you never heard of them?
No.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I've never heard of them. And you know what? Liverpool in the League Cup.
Fuck off.
Absolutely. Get out the League Cup, guys. Get out of here. You're not going to win a trophy this season. Absolutely not. That's what it's all about, guys. Absolutely. You know what? I don't want to talk to Liverpool fans because obviously...
Don't provoke me to anger, or else you'll be in danger.
That is the Liverpool fans to me this morning. You know what I mean? I do feel like it's a little bit of bullying right now. I think there's a bit of bullying going on. I think there is a bit of bullying going on. Do you think I'm a bully? I don't think I am. I actually don't. I think I've been quite nice to Liverpool fans, if I'm being realistic. I actually said on one of the streams yesterday that I expect a Liverpool bounce back. I didn't expect this sort of deflated bounce that we were talking about, guys. Because you know what? I mean, there was one thing that Fabrizio Romano said, and it stuck in my head until this day.
Don't underestimate Manchester United.
Don't underestimate Manchester United. You do not underestimate Manchester United. You do not underestimate the greatest club the world has ever seen. Absolutely. Absolutely. I know that annoys people. Absolutely, man. Come on, guys. Let's get into it. Hope you're all doing well. Let's get through some more comments, guys. Absolutely. Let's get through some more comments. Big up, Kenny. Good to see you, man. I have no shame laughing at them. The amount of troll. Big up, my friend Sanjit. Hope you're doing well. Sky Sports only speak about Amarin. Surprise. Selfie. I'm expecting Stiller Black to walk through the door. Absolutely. Surprise. Absolutely. Big up, Sanjit. Big up, Darren. What's going on, my guy? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Big up, Benny. Great morning. Yeah, so I think I read that one. Memory as a sieve. Absolutely. Darren, Slot must stay. We need him to stay. We need a petition for Arnie Slot to stay at Liverpool. Come on, Bobby. Let's go, Parley. That is Arnie Slot. That is what happened. That's why Aqua broke up, because Arnie Slot had to join Liverpool. But you know what? Guys, what's his name? Bjorn? I don't know. But Arnie Slot needs to stay. We need a petition. What's up? Big up, Mars. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see Mars in the house. Big up, Fanatic 80 Legend. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Sanjit, I have no shame laughing at Liverpool. You shouldn't have shame in laughing at Liverpool. They will laugh at us at sixpence. At a sixpence, they will laugh at us. They will not doubt. There will be no doubt, guys. They would laugh at us. Absolutely. A lot. I like it a lot. Sam, United should sign Stiller in January. Stiller signing will be like a Bruno signing. Don't forget, Bruno will sign in January. Absolutely, Sam. How can I forget? One of Man United's greatest buys in post Alex Ferguson. I agree with Sam here. I do. I agree with Sam here. I think Man United should get him in January. There's a possibility. This is not a European football club, Stuttgart. It is a possibility that Man United can get him, and I think they should. In particular, the fact that we've got the AFCON and we are going to be down to the bare bones, guys. Flintstone FC. That's what it is, guys. We're going to be down to the bare bones. I can't deal with that, guys. I'm worried about it now. Anxiety and everything, blood pressure, all that jazz. Can't deal with it. Absolutely. Ephraim, good morning. How you doing? Good morning, Sal. It's lovely to see Liverpool losing. Absolutely. Absolutely. $500 million down the drain loser. I mean, goodness me. They could have changed all our lives. They could have ended world hunger, but they decided, you know what I mean? They decided to purchase bums. That's what they decided to do. Look, I know what happens, guys. I know about the birds and the bees. I know they paid youngsters, but did Liverpool throw the game? Did Arnie Slot, to be exact, throw the game yesterday? Because I'm looking at that team yesterday. I'm looking at a bunch of kids on the bench. There's no experience on the bench. So was Arnie Slot looking to lose that game? Did he lose that game by purpose? In other words, it does look like that, isn't it? But when you have lost 5 in 6 games, you do not take risks. You do not throw games, because winning is what you need to do, and you need to gain momentum. So if you're going out there and playing a bunch of kindergartens, you know what I mean? The local primary schools were looking for their kids. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that is how young Liverpool's team was. You know, you cannot risk it when you're losing games. You can't do that, because at the end of the day, look, you know, you lose at 6 and 7. If I'm right, if I'm wrong, am I right? But something like that. Let's round it off to the nearest 10. 10 games they've lost. Round it off to the nearest 10. That's what we should do with everything with Liverpool when they lose. Round it off to the nearest 10. Absolutely. And 10 games they've lost. Absolutely. Stiller could be a good addition in January. Absolutely, Saviour. Absolutely. Good morning, Garrett. How you doing, my brother? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again, my friend. Sal, good morning, bro. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing blessed. Hope you're having a fabulous morning, my guy. Good to see you, of course. Samuel, what's going on, Sam? Marvel in the house. Absolutely. Good morning, sir. Stiller is taller than Anderson, Wharton, and Baleba. Go check these passes and better than Wharton, Baleba, and Anderson. He is playing in the Bundesliga, however, I would say that. But what I would say also is that the lies about his height, about his strength, about his speed is all fabricated. It's fake news. Fake news. Fake news. It is. And to be honest with you, Angelo Stiller will be a Stella signing for Manchester United. It'll be an absolutely brilliant signing for Manchester United. Haven't watched Stiller. Will do when they get home. Absolutely. Just get the right one, not Ben Stiller, Angelo Stiller. Sal, it's proof to get good Premier League players the best ways to go, proven by Alex Ferguson. Sometimes, not all the time. You can have Premier League proven players. It helps. But what I would say that you don't do it with absolutes, because Man United, some of the greatest players that came to Man United didn't play in the Premier League initially. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Cristiano Ronaldo, for example, and, Eric Cantona. Well, Eric Cantona did, actually. I'll tell a lie. But, players, you can't, Jaap Stam and, Nemanja Vidic and Patrice Evra and, you know what I mean? And we can go on here. We can. Andrei Kanchelskis and, you know what I mean? The thing is that you have to look at it in the balance point of view. You get the player that is best for you. Obviously, it's always good to have a nucleus of homegrown players in your team in regards to not homegrown in regards to British and all that, but players that are used to the Premier League. But, it helps, but it's not absolute, in my opinion. Ephraim. Sal, Angelo Stiller is a beast, passing rate outstanding. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Big up, Pell. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Big up, everyone. Fantastic what's happening at Liverpool, but it's nowhere near as toxic as Amram out. Listen, guys, I'm going to be talking about the Amram out brigade. I'm going to do a show, I think about 2:00. Join me for that. I was going to do it yesterday, but I'm going to do it at 2:00. It's about the Defence League. Those Amram outers who are trying their best to defend themselves, and they're clutching at as many straws. I think they're going to open a McDonald's. That's how many straws they're clutching on at the moment. So I'm going to be doing a show about that a bit later on. So keep your notifications on. That's going to be a live one. Absolutely. I'm going to be calling out names, the whole shebang. Absolutely. They should hold it. Guys, and I'm going to give my opinions about it. I'm going to give the ins and outs and the birds and the bees about it. And I'm going to talk about it quite intensely on that show. We cannot sign both Wharton and Anderson. The money will be too much for us. That's why we need to Stiller. We assign either Anderson or Wharton to pair with him in the midfield. We can, but Man United won't. Man United spent over 250 million this summer. They can buy both of them, but it wouldn't be advisable because they're both similar players. You need two different types of players. You need a number 8 and a number 6, Sam. A Stiller is a number 6, of course. Anderson, Wharton is a number 6 as well. So you're going to have to bring in a number 8 kind of thing, as well, because they're both different players. This is what people don't understand. This is why Mainoo is different to Ugarte. Ugarte is different to Mainoo. We have to understand just because they're central midfielders doesn't mean that they're the same type of midfielders. Man United need a number 8 and a number 6. So you're looking at Elliot Anderson and Adam Wharton and Angelo Stiller. They're all number 6s, all of them, right? And then you think about Balebo's more of number 8. Guys, and but the thing with Stiller, and this is one thing I will say, he's by trade a CDM. But he can play that number 8 role. That's the great thing about Stiller. So what Man United need to do, and I agree with this, is that they need to get in a Stiller and a Wharton or Elliot Anderson, or a Baleba and a Wharton or Elliot Anderson. That's what Man United need to do. But they're not going to get Baleba now. In my opinion, at the moment, it's looking a little bit bleak. Man United's interest has wavered a little bit because of the price tag. But Stiller and Adam Wharton or Stiller and Elliot Anderson, I think will be good for Man United, in my opinion. Big up Benny, big up Benny, big up my friend, absolutely. Stiller is interesting. Our midfield is still out and will be a priority, Stretford, absolutely. Stiller's a magician in the midfield, absolutely, Sam. Spenny, I was the first one to mention Stiller, guys. The first content creator to mention Angelo Stiller. No one needs to tell me how good Stiller is. You know what I mean? No one needs to tell me, about Stiller, because you guys didn't know who Stiller was when I was talking about him, just like Senny Lemens, but all good, man. All good in love and joy. Benny, they've good enough to quick enough to give it, not so quick to take it. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yale, what's going on, my friend? I'll be doing well. Slot comments are special. Don't want to see this guy lose his job. I have been amused by what he has been saying. A team boast. He's lost it. He's lost it, guys. He's losing it. The difference between Arne Slot and Jurgen Klopp is Jurgen Klopp used to have a personality, used to laugh it off, brush it off to one side. And Arne Slot, he's defensive. He goes on the rear, guys. He's defensive and he bites back. And people, that's when you lose things, of course. That's when you lose it, guys. Absolutely. Kenny, Salah Jimmy hates Liverpool. He keeps scoring against them. Absolutely. Sam, the pair between Stiller and Wharton or Anderson, it will be a dream come true. It would be lovely. Sam, it would be. You mentioned it 3 or 4 times already, my guy. Come on, Arnie. Let's go, Parley. Come on, Parley. Yeah. He had a big, crazy smile on his face at the end when it rained buckets on the pitch. Sugar in a hurricane. Big up, my guy. Lawrence, good to see you. Love it. Liverpool gives new meaning to 6 or 7 brain rot. Big up, Barry. What's going on, my guy? I hope you're doing well. Listen, guys, we don't get many weeks. In fact, we don't get many months like this. It's been a fabulous month. You know what? It's a bit like Ice Cube, but not today was a good day. This month is a good month. That is what it is at the end of the day, and I'm enjoying it. Guys, at the end of the day, smile where you still have teeth, as I've always said, and just enjoy it whilst we are still here, guys. And this is what it is. At the end of the day, we've been bantered from Kingdom Come. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, so we got a banter back, absolutely. And when we're winning, it makes it all the worth it, isn't it? Benny, talking about legend Sal, it's Nobby Star's 5th anniversary today, legend of Manchester United. Yes, World Cup winner as well, absolutely. Big up Nobby Styles, Nobby Styles dancing, of course, we all know. And absolute legend at Manchester United, of course, under Sir Matt Busby. Fantastic player, world-class player, and fair play. Thank you so much, Benny, for mentioning that, my guy. Milton, what's going on? In reference to LFC, I think that they should have many players who are not in the first team they could use. Obviously, not the case, though. No, the thing, what happened? What happened, Milton? I think he got overly... I think he wanted to get knocked out of the League Cup. I think he wanted out. I think he didn't want the cup. I didn't think he wanted it. I really do. Absolutely. Yale, German players do look to struggle in England. We have not seen many good German players like after Klinsmann who would do well in any league. Michael Ballack did all right at Chelsea. I'm just thinking about German players that did well in England. Schweinsteiger was at the end of his career. We can't really judge Schweinsteiger on that kind of thing. But look, listen, in football, you don't judge everyone with the same brush. You don't paint everyone with the same brush. Everyone is different. But Stiller might be that guy who absolutely changes the narrative, you know? And I think he will. I think he's a fabulous player. I think people need to watch him. I know a lot of people don't watch the Bundesliga. I do. I try to keep up to date with all these leagues. And I think he will be. And I don't think we should be putting a downer on it. I think what we should be doing is look at him, a great player, bringing it into Manchester United, and he will fit the mold perfectly. And he'll be a great player for Manchester United. Absolutely. And he's 24 as well. He's not very young. He's not one of those young players, not a rookie. So he's been around the block a little bit, got German caps. So, I think he'd be great at Man United. Let's do that, of course, guys. Absolutely. Lawrence, Bruno is going to stay to play 8. That's my feeling. So I think it's between Stiller and Anderson. Or Adam Wharton, of course. It could be. Look, you know, the thing with Bruno at the moment, you just can't really see him leaving. I think he's going to... I said it about a year ago. I think Bruno's going to retire at Man United. And I actually think he will retire at Man United. I think that is going to happen. I think he will retire. Even though I think we should cash in on him, I think he will retire at Man United. But that's just the way it is, isn't it? However, if Man United do sign a Stiller and an Anderson, and one thing I do, Lawrence, isn't it, Lawrence, is that we don't get our hopes up in regards to the transfer window too giddy. We don't get too giddy because we know what it's all about. We know what Man United are like. We're still owned by the Glazers, and let's not forget about that, of course. So what I would say is that, Man United realistically would get one midfielder. What we need is 2 or 3 midfielders. That's what it is. And this is exactly why that I was talking last week about Conor Gallagher. I wouldn't mind getting Conor Gallagher on a cheap and getting an Angelo Stiller or Elliot Anderson. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't. I would have no bones with that. Absolutely not, because it would add weight into the squad, experience into the squad. And that's what Man United do. Man United need to calculate what they do more efficiently. However, one thing I would say is that Man United, if they did qualify for the Champions League, it's a big if, I know, but if we did qualify for the Champions League, Man United will be able to attract more players. And we will find it a lot more easier to get players through the door. And obviously, if Man United qualify for the Champions League. Yes, he's 6 foot, my guy. Yeah, he is. Small, apparently. God, what am I then? A midget? Absolutely. Dan, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Morning, Sal. Gallagher was so quick to say Amram out. Can't hear him on... absolute useless bias. Listen, guys, I'm going to speak about that later on in my show, Chatterbox. I'm going to do Chatterbox show later on today, guys, probably about 1 or 2 o'clock, guys. So keep your notifications on. I've got a big show coming up. I'm going to talk about these guys. All right. So these defense league, that's what it is. It's the defense league. They're trying to save face, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? Zizou, what's going on? Hello, slot out now. I mean, a lot of Liverpool fans have said they're going to give him to the weekend when I think Liverpool are playing Aston Villa. So that is a possibility that Liverpool could struggle in that game. They could lose that game. I want him to stay. I don't think it's fair. I think they should be patient with him. Absolutely. Big up. Christian, morning, Sal. I don't think we'll spend in January, maybe a loan, yes, but getting into the Champions League, we'll definitely spend 300 million. I think so, Christian. It depends in January, and this is the thing. It's not an absolute that we're going to spend in January, even though we need to spend, in particular with the African nations are on the horizon. We do need to spend. It depends. It really depends what happens with Kobe Mainoo and Xerxes. And I think if Man United can bring in a Stiller, or bring in, look, the realistic thing to happen is what I spoke about last week, and I don't think it's a bad idea. I think bringing in Conor Gallagher on loan, I don't think it's a bad idea, if I'm being totally honest. A Ruben Neves on loan, I don't think it's a bad idea, if I'm being honest. And I'll be happy with that, because it does add weight into the squad and experience into the squad that we need, and the quality as well, guys. I know that a lot of people underrate Conor Gallagher. Of course, there's lots of people out there who don't like Conor Gallagher for some reason, because he's not fashionable. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, it's a recency bias sort of thing, isn't it? So what I would say is that I would love get a loan in January. However, it's not the end. It's not the end in regards to Man United signing players. That could be a possibility, but you're absolutely right. If Man United do manage to qualify for the Champions League, I think we'll spend more than 300. I really do. I really do. You think about Man United, how much we spent this summer. Imagine if we get in the Champions League, absolutely be game-changing. Big up, Christian, by the way. Benny, if United continue improving, we will have no problem attracting players to the Amram project. And at this rate, we are on a good path. We have got the best manager. We have got the best opportunity right now, guys, to move on, to carry on. Now, guys, I want to know your opinion. If Man United end up being close to the top in January, I think it's very, very important that Ineos, that the Glazers back Amaram. Let's go on that momentum, guys, because it is the AFCON. If Man United get to January and we're only a few points from the top of the league, I think we need to sign a couple of players right there just to solidify that position and go on a winning run. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. What do you think? Just mention him, speak of the devil. Big up Lawrence. Yeah, I'll be happy with that. I'll be absolutely happy with that. Sal, it's amazing Amram outers want to say Amram adapt to absolute crap accept if you're wrong. They won't accept they're wrong, mate. The fact is, I'm going to talk about this later on in the show. I've got the match preview, by the way, Man United against Nottingham Forest preview later on today for Chatterbox. But I'm going to do an afternoon show today, and I'm going to talk about these idiots who are basically, let me just tell you in a nutshell, guys. Let me just tell you in a nutshell, right? Every manager tweaks things during a game. Every manager. Ruben Amorim has been doing it since he came to Man United, but they ignore that because they're clutching on straws, trying to justify why they weren't wrong. And that's what it is. And I think it's an absolute disgrace, to be honest with you. Absolutely. Yale, there's a chance to get Gallagher either on loan or permanent deal, but he has had mixed results at Atletico Madrid this season. Would you be Cass out of the team? Cass might be leaving, mate. So we have to think about that. We have to think about the squad as well. We got the African nations coming up as well. So Cass can't play every single game this season. And we need a squad. We don't have a strong enough squad. And in particular, if Mainoo leaves and goes on loan. In regards to Atletico Madrid, no one really does well at Atletico Madrid unless you're a Latin player. English players going to Atletico Madrid, putting Gallagher in the team, taking him out the team, putting him in the team, doesn't do well for him. So you've got to look at things in context of what is going on at Atletico Madrid. Is he getting a consistent run of games at Atletico Madrid? Do you know what I mean? Which he is not. You know, he's not getting a consistent run of games. So, I would bring him in. Absolutely, I'll bring him in. I would also bring in Hendrick on loan. I would bring an Hendrick on loan. I would. And I know that it might cost a little bit of money and wages, but I think that would be an absolute game changer for Man United if you consider that Ahmad and Buemo are going on the African nations. So I think that Man United should try and get these type of players on loan and not necessarily get an obligation to buy, but get them on in the club to help with the squad. Benny, we absolutely need to bring in a few if we are in the top 3 or 4 by January, even if it is a Gallagher and Stiller. Just add depth, absolutely. It push us into the Champions League and improve again in the next summer. Absolutely, Benny. This is exactly what we need. And we need squad depth because, Man United's history with injuries isn't very glorious, is it? We do have a very bad injury record, of course. So Man United do need to improve that squad tenfold, absolutely. And look, bringing in a loan, it wouldn't be a bad idea. Like, even if it's a Ruben Neves, a Conor Gallagher, or an Hendrick, someone of that ilk, those players of that ilk, I think they'll be absolutely fantastic. I think it will help the squad tenfold. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. Guys, Garrett, Sal, Bruno is going to win the title this season. Glory go Man United, mate. I would love that, Garrett. That would be absolutely incredible. I would love that, mate. I'm not going to brush that off because I love the ambition. I love people who have positive outlooks on life. And I think that if Man United managed to do that, it'd be the most biggest thing to happen in Premier League history. It would be the most biggest upset, according to the media outlets, to happen in Premier League history, in my opinion. I really do think that. And I think it's not impossible. It's not in the realms of impossibility. I mean, Leicester City have done it as well, haven't they? You know what I mean? And, you know, it can happen. It just takes a little bit of momentum and it happens. And things to go your way, of course. Absolutely. Christian, we only take players who wants to play for United, and that's where we can negotiate for a better fee, even if other teams wants the same, like the signings. I agree with that, my friend. Absolutely. Absolutely, I agree with that. Guys, look, you know what? It is funny. It is funny. It has been a funny old month, hasn't it, so far, the way things have turned. I told people about this. I told people that anything can happen in football. Things change in football at a sixpence. 1 week you're here, next week you're there. Do you know what I mean? But one thing in life, you know, you have to hold it when you get it wrong. You have to hold it. And you have to, everyone, we're all human beings, we have to get it wrong sometimes. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. Guys, absolutely. But it is a funny thing. It is a funny thing what's going on at the moment in the fan base. And what I don't want, guys, I don't want this becoming an in versus out brigade. I don't want that happening because I know that if Man United lose against Nottingham Forest on Saturday, those same people are going to be calling them out again. Do you know what I mean? And that's exactly where we don't want to be because we're going to be going into that toxicity again. Now, I would urge people to be very careful who you listen to, who you talk to, because at the end of the day, a lot of these people are wolves dressed in sheep's clothing. And they pretend that they're all positive. They pretend that they're all for opinions. But in fact, in reality, they're all for their own opinion only. And their own opinion is it. You know what I mean? That is all it is. It's their own opinion, nothing else at the end of the day. Now, guys, look, you know, my tweet went viral yesterday in regards to that, I would say. And it went mad, of course, because I spoke a fact and it hit a lot of people. It annoyed a lot of people because I spoke a fact and these people can't take the facts. And that is it at the end of the day. You have to be an incredibly egotistical, delusional, delusions of grandeur personality to be like they are. You have to be. And just because your platform has been schooled many times, you are getting on the defense league. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Don't think I haven't forgot the insults on Ruben Amorim. Now, as I said, guys, I'm not sitting here saying that Ruben Amorim is untouchable. And I know that people are going to use that narrative. It's not that. Ruben Amorim will lose games. Man United will lose games, as we've always done. But what we have to do, we have to look at things in context and not overreact. Unfortunately, there were certain individuals that were overreacting after the fifth game, right? Not looking at the context of what happened against Arsenal, what happened against Fulham, etc. They were just looking at, I want to be right, and I'm nothing else. See, I'm right. I'm right. No, I'm right. I'm right. You're wrong. I'm right. And that's what they are. Clowns. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. Thank you so much, Ephraim. Thank you to 50 likes. 50 likes again, guys. We're smashing it. Absolutely brilliant. Let's keep smashing those likes, guys. If you haven't smashed a like already, guys, don't forget to subscribe. If you're new, don't forget to smash a like on the video, guys. It's all about that. Of course, smash a like if you're happy about Liverpool losing to Crystal Palace last night in the League Cup, of course, guys. Arsenal won against Brighton, of course. I don't think Brighton took that game very seriously, if I'm being totally honest with you. Guys, absolutely. Man City won as well, guys. Absolutely. Yale, I would love to win, but Forest is a dangerous team. Don't need to tell us that, Yale. Team to meet right now. I would also love us to win against Spurs. I mean, you would love us to win. Obviously. No shit, Sherlock. You're a Man United fan. No, I don't want Man United to win. No, we don't want Man United to win in this community. No shit, Sherlock. Big up, Yale. Big up, Yale. I'm only joking. LT, big up, Sal. I hope the African shows Ineos that we liked in the right-hand side as the three players who played on the right will be gone absolutely during that time. And our squad beyond the first 11 needs better. I agree, LT, and I don't know why they didn't think about this in the summer. It's ridiculous, isn't it? And this is exactly why after the transfer window in the summer, I was giving the window a 4 or 5 out of 10 because I envisioned, and most of us did, the African nations that were coming along. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, and it's going to be difficult on that right-hand side. We've got Dalot. Mantato hasn't played, of course. We're going to have to rotate, and it's going to be difficult for Man United to do it because obviously we can bring in Mainu into midfield, move Bruno into the number 10 position, move Dalot onto the right, Dorgu on the left. It's like that, but it's very, very threadbare. So if one injury happens, we are screwed. So we need to really do a rebuild, get a couple of players in, absolutely. Ephraim, Sal, I'm interested how we line up against Forest. We will win. I'm confident. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be doing the match preview later on. I'll be giving my predicted lineup, what I think that Ruben Amorim would do, of course, guys. And don't forget to join me for that. It's going to be an absolute laugh, of course. Benny, if we win next 3 games, I think it would be so important to add a midfield in January. Yeah, because it adds the momentum, doesn't it, Benny? If we win 3 games in a row, if we win against Forest, that's 4 games in a row. If we beat Tottenham, that's 5 games in a row. Do you know what I mean? And that momentum needs to carry on. So what better than bringing in a player, you know what I mean, to add depth into the squad? It'd be absolutely brilliant, in my opinion. Do you think Licha will be on the bench? I hope so, Yale. I really miss Licha Martinez. I think Licha Martinez is an incredibly important player for us. Excuse me. I think it's an incredibly important player for us. People underestimate how important Licha Martinez is. He's incredibly important for Man United. And I hope he's on the bench against Forest. I doubt it. I think he'll probably make the Everton game, in my opinion. I think it's the Spurs game. I think after the international break, I think that Licha Martinez will be back after the international break, in my opinion. Good morning, Wesley. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're good. Absolutely. Mentioned him earlier in the show. Wesley, his name is Ian Subiabre. Mentioned him many times in the past. Argentinian, River Plate, a right winger, left winger, centre forward. 18 years old. Absolutely. If you scroll back to the beginning of the show, I speak more in depth in regards to him. Absolutely. So, yeah, good player. Man United have been linked to him. Man United have a conveyor belt of people in Argentina, in South America at the moment. Guys, just to let you know, looking at the next up-and-coming South American players, of course, lots of talent comes from South America, Argentina, and Brazil, and things like that, of course. Absolutely. Guys, so exciting news. It would be good if Man United do bring in a player like that because, you know, players like that, it's just like, you know, bringing in Licha Martinez and players like that. It's like, they got talent and they're cheaper as well. Subiabre will be free transfer on the 31st of December, 2026. So Man United have got 2 options. Man United can wait till 2026 in December to get him on a free transfer, or Man United can buy him in the summer for a relatively cheap price. His valuation at the moment is 1.6 million euros. Man United could probably get a deal done for 5 to 10 million euros, which wouldn't be much money, and we'll be having him at the beginning of next season, of course. So, yeah, look, interesting one. And, Subiabre, Manchester United, River Plate, right wing, left wing, centre forward. And that is the player that we are scouting, Wesley. And I hope I have cleared that up for you, my guy. Absolutely. I hope I've cleared that up for you guys. Absolutely. So, yeah, look, Man United, just be aware that Man United will be linked to a lot of players in the summer. I will be in Italy in Christmas, guys. So I will be in Italy in Christmas, and I will be doing a little bit of a scouting mission over there again. As people know, I go to Naples 2-3 times a year. Of course, not just to see the in-laws, but also to do my work on scouting and this and that. And I do a lot of work in regards to journalism and stuff like that out there in Italy, of course, guys. So I will be there in December. And yeah, hopefully in December, we get a lot of positives coming our way, of course. Whilst I'm in Italy, of course, the African nations will be on, of course, guys, and there'll be a lot of moves. I'll be doing a lot of content over there as well. So it's going to be exciting stuff, of course. So yeah, enjoy. I'm excited about the future of Man United. I am. I think I'm over. Look, guys, one thing I would say, and I urge people, is don't just fall into the narrative, all right? If we lose against Forest, things can happen in football. That happens. That's life. That happens in football. But we'll hold that. We'll hold that. We lose against Forest, that's the way it is. But Man United, by all means, not the finished article. Ruben Amorim still needs to be back. Ruben Amorim still needs his players. Ruben Amorim has proven over this last month or so that he has the ability as a manager. Right? So it is a laugh. It does make me laugh when people write him off so soon. Do you know what I mean? Wesley, Sal, what's your prediction? What for us? You give predictions if it comes true. I'll be doing my prediction, Wesley, later on today on Chatterbox, of course. 3 out of 3 so far. Absolutely. Absolutely enjoying it. I've got it right. So if I should have put a bet on, you know what I mean? Same, I can't bet over here. But yeah, look, we'll do my preview show with my predicted lineup, with my predicted score and everything. All that on top of that, of course. Wesley, Sal, do you think we'll buy a right side player if we lose to AFCON? We're going to lose a lot of players. Obviously, in Bremo, it's not confirmed yet. Obviously, he needs to play a playoff, I believe, in Bremo. Ahmad is going to the African nations with Ivory Coast, of course. But with Mbeumo, if he does go to the African nations, and guys, I'm not being rude or anything. I hope he doesn't. I hope they don't qualify, and that's just being selfish because I'm a Man United fan. I don't care about international football. But what I would say is that if Mbeumo does go to the African nations, yes, Man United need to make a move. Man United needs to make a move. If they go out there and get Van der Sar, go out there and get him. Go and get Van der Sar. Go and get someone. Get someone who can act as a stopgap at Man United. You know what I mean? Bloody hell. Go and get Darmian back. You know what I mean? Get him on. Look, Man United do need cover in that area. The only thing Man United can do, probably, as I said, is move Bruno into that number 10, right-hand number 10 position, move Mainu into the midfield, and move Dalot into the right wing-back position, and Dorgu on the left wing-back position. Or Dorgu on the right, and Dalot on the left. Whatever you prefer. Absolutely. But it is interesting to see. There's a lot of things that are going to happen. I am thinking about it. Of course, I'm going to think about it. I think it's very important that we do. Stephen, good morning, my friend. How you doing, family? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're doing good. Good to see you. Of course, my guy. Hope everything is blessed with you. Big up everyone in the stream, guys. Absolutely. Look, guys, look, you know what? One thing is for certain. We're in a good mood. We're positive. And look, guys, look, you know what? I don't mind people having differences of opinion. That is life. Without differences of opinion, we don't learn anything. And that is one thing about life in general, because we don't know everything. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, guys, we don't know everything. And I would say that in regards to Man United, you know, what's the most important thing for us to do as fans is to support the manager, because there will be ups and downs. We don't have the best squad in the world. We don't have a strength in depth. We're going to struggle sometimes. And that struggle may be against Forest. Who knows, guys? But one thing I would say is this. We back our manager until he is no longer our manager, because our manager has shown things to us that, you know what, he is a good manager, right? I've had people on this channel that I do not speak to anymore because they were coming on here and doubting the manager before he's even bloody played a football match. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And one thing I would say is that I don't want them come crawling back, because I know what they're all about. Everyone knows me. I backed Eric Ten Hag, and I'm backing Ruben Amorim. Now, there are some people who haven't moved away from Ten Hag. There's some people who haven't moved away from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and they're like the Ten Hag sexuals and the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sexuals. That's what they are. And I don't do that. I'm a Man United sexual. Absolutely. So that is what it is. And I just believe that there's a lot of anger there. There's a lot of annoyance, competition. There should be a Man United competition between Man United fans, because we're so at each other's throat all the time. It just makes me laugh, doesn't it? We're at each other's throat more than we're out of our rivals' throats. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. No Casemiro. Stephen, hoping and praying we win their next two away games. Come on, man. Yeah. Look, guys, what I would say, and I would say this, right? We beat Forest. We draw against Tottenham. It's not the end of the world, right? Tottenham's a difficult game. I actually believe we're going to beat Tottenham, but we may draw one. We're not going to win every game. I know that we want to win every game. It'd be lovely to win every game, right? That would be perfect if we can win every game. But one thing I would say, guys, we have to keep our feet on the ground and be cautiously optimistic that we can move up that table, all right? And I believe we will. Absolutely. I trolled the Liverpool supporters for their loss yesterday to Crystal Palace. They say they played second team. That's not our problem. That's it. We don't care if you played your second team or not. No one talks about Man United, how many injuries we got and all that. Do you know what I mean? LT, I think we're going to play the same team that played Brighton with Forest against Forest. Can't see too many changes, and I'm more confident now because the play. I think what I'm seeing, LT. I think that what we're going to do is I think Liverpool game. I think he's going to go into that Liverpool thing. I think he's going to play Mason Mount and control that midfield. I think he could do that. I think that the one thing about that, LT, is that the away team with Mason Mount and Harry Maguire, it works. You know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes when you're playing away from home, you have to kind of rotate a little bit, and it works. And it takes time to find out what works, but it works. And if you play Mason Mount and this and that, and you play Maguire and that, I think it'll be all right. I think we'll be all right. However, obviously, the difference between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest is that Nottingham Forest will be doing a low block, looking to counter us. This is what they do. Of course, they've got a couple of quality players in there. Obviously, they've got Gibbs and they've got Elliot Anderson, who we want, of course. So it's going to be an interesting game. It really is. Wesley, I believe Amram will take us to the top again. Big up, Wesley. Me too. Sal, we need to change our away records. It's getting better, though, bruv. It's getting better. We won away to Liverpool. There's no reason why we can't win away at the City Ground. Absolutely. We've had some great results at the City Ground over the years, not least an 8-1 win in 98-99 in a treble winning season. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming off to score 4 goals. We all remember that, don't we? What an amazing time that was, guys, to be alive, guys. Let me just tell you about 98-99. Vibes, man. Vibes. With vibes. It's just so much vibes. It was such a great time, guys, to be a football fan. Honest to God, to be a Manchester United fan in 98-99, goodness me. That is the gift that keeps on giving every time I think about it, honest to God. It still sends shivers up my spine, guys. When I think about it, it still sends shivers up my spine. It really does. It was an absolutely amazing time, of course, guys. It really was. It really was. A great time to be alive and great time to be a Manchester United fan as well. Efren, Sal, I do not understand why our fans do not rate Dorgu. He's a good player. Dorgu's a 20-year-old, and I think people need to be careful, need to leave him alone. And that is all I would say. When Patrice Evra was 20, he wasn't even at Monaco. Beckham was at Preston North End at 20. So what we need to do, guys, is be patient with the young players. I see quality in Dorgu. He's not going to be the finished article, guys. He's never going to be the finished article at 20. So I think we need to be a little bit more patient with these players, especially the young players, and especially as Manchester United, who we are as a football club with young players and that. We back our young players. We back our own, and we back Dorgu. Of course we do. And he will come good. He's getting all the experience necessary at the moment. And he's under a great manager who will nurture him or who will improve him, of course, like Imram did at Sporting Lisbon, of course, absolutely. Wesley, if Bremo leaves for AFCON, we can play Bruno there and Mainu next to Casemiro. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier in the show, Wesley. Wesley, that's the thing about coming late. We spoke about it in depth. Absolutely. I sound like a repeat record. I've already mentioned that a couple of times. Yeah. So in regards to Dorgu, we need to obviously be patient and be careful with him. Absolutely. Hey, Rajat, what's going on, my bro? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again. Good to see you. Hope you're blessed. Hope everyone is good in the Z house. But yeah, look, we have to be patient with some players. Some players won't be good straight away. They will take time to develop. And that is what we used to do with the class of 92, of course. People forget. People think that the class of 92 just broke through in 95, 96, and that was it. No. The class of 92 broke through in the Champions League in the 94, 95, and 93 sometimes. Like Beckham made his debut, I think, 1993, Gary Neville and all that. And then they were slowly integrated into the team and they got more experience, they got more strength and things like that. And then they ended up becoming great players, of course, as we know, during the class of 92. I'm doing very well. Thank you, Rajat. Good to see you. Hope you're well as well. Good to see you back, my friend. Hope you're doing blessed. Of course, yeah. So what I would say is that, look, we keep our feet firmly on the ground. This is nothing that I didn't expect. I already knew that Ruben Amorim is a good manager. I already knew that these players can turn it on at sixpence as well. These players are very good at turning it on, but they're also as good as turning it off. So this is why I keep my feet on the ground. Now, I would actually argue that Nottingham Forest this weekend is going to be the hardest game that we have played recently. I think it will, because we got the Sean Dyche effects. We got the new manager bounce. However, we do have a good record against Sean Dyche. So hopefully that continues, of course. We should not fear Nottingham Forest. They lost 3-0 to Chelsea. We should not fear them, of course. Yale, could Shea Lacey get minutes at 10? I do not think Ruben will let Mount play 90 minutes. He won't, I don't think. I'm a big fan of Shea Lacey. People know me. I'm a big fan of Shea Lacey. I'm a big fan of Ibrahimov. I'm a big fan of Fletcher. I'm a big fan of Musa. I'm a fan of Matata. I'm a fan of all these players. Kolungi, Fredrickson. Guys, I'm absolutely delighted with the way that our youth team is developing, and we have a great conveyor belt of young players coming through. It's fantastic news. It's probably the best conveyor belt of young players that are coming through probably since the class of 92. Not comparing, I'm just saying since then. We have some great players coming through, and hopefully bit by bit they will get the opportunities. It's a shame that we are not in the Carabao Cup, of course, guys, but you know what? That's just the way the cookie crumbles. LT, guys, we won 4 out of 5 of our home games, showing that we're making Old Trafford a fortress again. And now the next step is taking more points from the teams we've expected to beat to be more ruthless away from home as well, isn't it, LT? And what I'm happy about, absolutely, LT, is that our home record, we shouldn't have lost against Arsenal. We should be unbeaten at home at the moment. What I'm happy about is that, yes, we are making Old Trafford into a fortress again. I think Old Trafford is becoming more scary, of course, and I think that long may it continue. However, what Man United need to do now, as you said there, LT, is Man United need to pick themselves up and do it away from home more consistently, i.e. the smaller teams away from home. For example, as we know, like Brentford and Fulham, which we didn't win. We need to change that narrative and go to the City ground in buoyed mood, in confident mood, and win the game. Absolutely. Afro G-Dog, what's going on, my friend? How you doing? Alpha G-Dog. So I keep getting confused because of the handles on YouTube. The handles on YouTube are a mad thing. Absolutely. Hello, Sal. It was a great time to enjoy lots of great players and games. Big up, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, G-Dog. Good to see you again. Absolutely. We also draw games and lose games, certainly fact in it. Yeah, we will also draw and lose games, but the fact of the matter is the most important thing for people to do is hold that, number one. And number two, it's not to overreact. Don't throw your rattles at your pram, right? Because this whole process here is going to take time, right? And guys, I don't want to see, this is why my tweet went viral yesterday. I don't back things because I want to back it because I'm toxic positivity and all that. I actually see things. And the thing is, the fact is, Man United will lose games. Of course they will lose games. He has not been supported to the maximum in regards to Ineos and the Glazers. He had a 4 out of 10 window. We should have had more. This is why we're still looking at a midfielder and a wing back and stuff. But what we have seen, especially over this last 3 games, we've seen the players have got used to the system. Some of them are better at the system. Some of them are getting used to the system. For example, you look at Senny Lamens. Now, Senny Lamens is good with both feet, can kick it long, can kick it short. By in there, and Nana can't do that. They're not good accuracy in regards to that. This is why we're doing that. Of course, big up, Raja. Wesley, Ruben will stick with the front 3, and Bremo, Cunha, and Sesko for Forest game. Let's wait and see, mate. Have you got an insider, Wesley? Yo, Sal. Let's wait and see, Wesley. I know that I would stick with the same, Wesley, but let's wait and see. Yo, Sal, bro, what makes us Liverpool and or Man City fans, to be honest? Just kidding. Big up, my bro. Big up, Rajat. Good to see you. Liverpool have suddenly become very vulnerable against Premier League teams, and this is something, LT, that many of us predicted. That, you know what, Arne Slot came into their football club and he just had to press play, and people don't believe this, but he just had to press play. He already had the team there. He had a nucleus of the team there that have won championships, that have won Champions Leagues, and he just needed to press play. The key for Arne Slot was when he gets tested, when he has to kind of build his own team and spend $500 million doing it. That was the biggest test. They're not going to sell any of those assets that they have spent an absolute ridiculous amount on, right? What they're going to sack Arne Slot if he carries on losing. You know, I know some people say it's unfair, he won a league and all that, but we got to look at it in context. Why did he win the league? How did he win the league? With what did he win the league with? You know, and this is what we're saying. This is what I said last season. This is what I said this season. And people were backing Arne Slot, saying, no, he's a good manager. He's a good manager. Don't say that. He's a good manager. I'll say he's not. He's not proven. You know, he's not proven. Ruben Amorim would have walked into that team and won the league with Liverpool. 100%. You know what I mean? Yale, Sporting became a monster in the 3rd season under Ruben. I think the same will happen in United. Come on, Yale. Love the comments, my friend. Good to see you back. I love it. I love the positivity because at the end of the day, nothing is guaranteed in life. We don't deal with absolutes in football. Things can go wrong. We know that. We're human beings. Things can go wrong. We're right. We're wrong. We are human beings at the end of the day. And that's what I would say. And at the end of the day, the one thing we do as Manchester United fans is that we recognize when there is something good, when there's something positive happening. And something positive is happening. But what I would urge people right now, this moment, the next time we lose a game, do not overreact. Do not overreact, because at the end of the day, Man United have a very thin squad and it's going to take time. Right, at the end of the day, Man United are changing a cultural issue at this football club. It's a cultural issue, guys. You know what I mean? It's more than just what goes on the pitch. From top to bottom, at this football club, there's problems. Do you know what I mean? And Ruben Amorim, since he came in, he walked into this football club with endless problems, guys. Off-field problems, on-field problems, infrastructure problems, takeover problems. You name it. We've had it. Guys, and the thing, Ruben has had it. And the thing, what we have to do is understand things in context. Don't overreact. Calm your tits. Be calm. I know calling Ruben Amorim out on some content creation pages. I know that it gets you clicks. I know it gets you likes. I know it keeps you sweet with your, the pressers and all that, and the VIP passes and all that. I know what goes on. I know what's in your mind. I know you don't want to diss the players because you want to shake Bruno Fernandes' hand behind the scenes and act like you're mates with him. You don't think I know that? Amorim is an easy target. Right, that's it. Why don't call out the Glazers? Because you don't. Why not call out Ineos? Because you don't. Right, and at the end of the day, this is what I've been talking about again and again and again, and I've proven right again and again and again. And people don't want to listen. People think that we're going to change the record if we sack Ruben Amorim. We're going to be worse. What Ruben Amorim is doing is what we envisioned from the start, guys. What we envisioned. Guys, absolutely. Raja, out of all the midfield targets such as Stiller, Wharton, Vance and Baleba, who fits the midfield? It depends, Raja. You got number 8 and you got number 6s there, so you need a number 6 and number 8, or someone who can play both. Obviously, people are talking about Elliot Anderson and Adam Wharton. Of course, that would be a good complement each other, but they're both number 6s. Stiller is naturally a number 6. He is a number 6. He's a CDM, so but the thing with the difference with Stiller is Stiller can go forward. He can act as a number 8. So I would say that, in my opinion, Adam Wharton and Stiller, Elliot Anderson and Stiller will be good for me. In regards to Carlos Baleba right now, he needs to pick up his performances. That's all I would say about that. He needs to get better. He needs to pick up his performances. He needs to do better. I still rate him. I'm still a big fan of him, but he does need to do better. Of course he does. And pick up those performances, because against Man United, he was atrocious. And he has been atrocious for a while now. And Man United, people have to understand that Man United are a business at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? I know I don't like saying that. But Man United are a business. And we can't splash money on players that are underperforming, etc. The players are starting to believe in Ruben, and the fans, we do the same, because the chance in Arsenal game by game. Absolutely. Look, the players are adjusting. It was always going to take time, Christian. It was always going to take time, and I've battled, I've shouted, I've blocked, I've done this, I've done that. You know what? And all I'm doing is trying to feed you with knowledge, not because I'm arrogant or I'm egotistical, but because of evidence suggests what is going on at this football club. You know what I mean? And we've been shouting and screaming it for a long, long time. You know what I mean? Bloody hell. I understand people are frustrated. I understand what's happened in the past. But this was never going to be an easy fix, and it's not going to be an easy fix. We are not there yet. It only takes one loss, and those same guys are going to be jumping up again with their sarcastic comments and things like that, guys. Absolutely. But lads and ladettes, I want to thank everyone again for supporting the channel. Lots of great things coming for Stretford Post. Myself, Sal Warner, of course, guys. And I want to say thank you to everyone who carries on smashing a like on the video. Let's see if we could get to 100 likes by today, guys, if we can get there. I will be back for a mini show. The show I was supposed to do yesterday, I was supposed to do Chatterboxer yesterday. I'm going to do one about 2 or 3 o'clock, guys. Keep your notifications on, guys. I will be doing my match preview at 3 p.m. UK time. UK time, 3 p.m. I will be doing my Chatterbox 4 hours from 2 p.m. So 1, 12, 11 o'clock UK time, of course, guys. So look out for that. Keep your notifications on. Thank you very much, guys. Much love to you all. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. I'll see you later on for Chatterbox, guys. Keep your notifications on. Take it easy. Peace.